All right, good morning, everybody. It is Monday, April 13th, and we are getting ready to start week 4. And I just kind of wanted to just catch up. I'm going to be sending you an email here soon about the last test and kind of any additional information. I do have some people that have not taken the test, and so I just want to encourage you guys to keep up with your due dates and all of the assignments. Some of you guys are doing awesome, and I'm really proud of your work, and just keep up the good work. So we are getting ready to start lecture test 4 material. Lecture test 3 test is due today. And just like the last one, from here on out, with the exception of your final, your tests are going to be due on Mondays. And so this next test is due a week from today on April 20th. And this test is going to be a little bit different. So the last test only covered one chapter. And you might be if you've looked ahead, you might be thinking, man, this next test covers 4 chapters. Now, don't panic. It's still only 2 sets of notes, but it is going to be quite a bit of material, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Okay, so I kind of want to go over the expectation, and let's start with our things to know. So chapter 6 is really kind of one of the main things that you need to know for this test. It's going to be pretty heavy. It's the chapter over your skeletal system. And you have 8 different objectives. Some of them are pretty simple and some of them are pretty complicated. But chapter 6 is going to be a bulk portion of your test, and that it's just about bones in general, the system as a whole, structure of bone, the way bones grow, the way bones heal, factors that affect your bones. And so chapter 6, it's got a lot of information in it, okay? And I would not wait to prepare for this material, okay? Because you do have more material to cover. You don't want to try to cover it all in 1 or 2 days, okay? Also, if at any point you guys need some help, come in and see me. I'll be happy to help you out. We also have a tutor in the library. His name is David. And so if you guys are struggling, if you're just not understanding the material, I just want to encourage you again to reach out, okay? You're not alone. I know you may be taking this class at home, but it doesn't mean you're alone in your learning, okay? So please feel free to reach out with questions. Please feel free to come by during my office hours or schedule another time to come by. But if you're having difficulty or you're just not understanding some things, we need to go ahead and address it now, okay? You guys don't want to wait too late and get to the point of no return. So we still have lecture tests 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we also have our final. So we still have several tests to go. Now, in terms of chapter 6, like I said, it's all about the skeletal system as a whole. And then chapter 7 and 8, the reason this test is technically over 4 chapters is because 7 and 8 are really, if you are in lab right now, this is what you're covering in lab. Okay, so chapter 7 is over the axial skeleton and all of the bones that make up the axial skeleton. And so the axial skeleton is going to be your main axis. It's going to be your skull, it's going to be your vertebra, and it's going to be your rib cage. And so in these chapters, it's pretty much a review of what you're doing in lab. Now, if you're not in lab, it's okay. You don't have to be in lab to be successful here, because everything you need to know is still in the PowerPoint. All the bones are listed. But if you are in lab, you're going to be getting a double dose, okay? Because that's what you're doing in lab, is you're going to be covering the axial skeleton in one unit and then the appendicular skeleton in the next. So really chapter 7 and 8, in terms of PowerPoint information, in terms of note information, you really don't have a lot to know. It's just knowing which bones are in which category, okay? And then chapter 9 is going to be your other major chapter. So even though it's a 4-chapter test, your main focus is going to be on chapter 6, where you're learning about the skeletal system, and chapter 9. Okay, so there will be questions over 7 and 8, but these 2 chapters are the main ones that you need to put your focus on. Honestly, joints are not that difficult, but what can be hard about chapter 9 is the vocabulary. You have a lot of words that are very similar to each other. And so in order to understand chapter 9, you're just going to have to spend some time with it. And that's the key. If you want to be successful in this class, you have to spend some time with the material and making sure that you understand it. Okay, there's lots of things that you can do to help. There's lots of videos, there's lots of practices, there's lots of ways to test yourself. And of course, when in doubt, come and see me for help, or go see a tutor, or just go to Google. There's a lot of materials out there to help you. Now, down here on your possible essay questions, since this is a 4-chapter test, we technically should have 2 essays, but I'm going to give you a little hint. There's only going to be 1, okay? And while all of these pieces of information are important, and you should know the material for all 5 of these essays, I'm just going to say that there's a particular essay that just kind of speaks to me, okay? And so there's a particular one, number 3, that is just a great question, okay? And so while you should prepare for all, I just want you to know you may want to pay close attention to number 3. Name the 5 ways that bones are classified, and this is essentially like long bones, short bones, sesamoid bones. So that's what number 3 is asking. So just to kind of give you a heads up, you have 5 possible essays. You're probably only going to see 1 on the test, and I really like number 3, okay? And so this test is not going to be the easiest of material, okay? And so I just want you to be prepared. I want you to spend some time. You have lots of materials to help you. As always, you have your word bits that you can see. And so you have word bits from Chapter 6 and Chapter 9. You guys at this point should be familiar with what to expect when you go in to take a test. I'd highly recommend studying by objective, using those videos to help you. I always post additional videos on your PowerPoints like Crash Course and things like that, and those are great for overall explanation. So there's kind of your things to know for the unit. If we take a look at our Moodle, you do have 2 PowerPoints, so there's your Chapter 6 and the note sheet. There's your Chapter 7, 8, and 9 and the note sheet. And so if you guys, as always, if you want me to give you a copy of those documents, I'll be happy to share those with you. Just swing by my office. You have your videos that are going to go over those chapters. And of course, there's some study materials. There's some practice materials. Always encourage you to do those. And then as we get down to the graded activities, remember they are due the same day as the test. I would definitely get them done before you take the test though. Okay, so this first one, it's labeling the parts of the long bone. And in your PowerPoint, you have a picture of this long bone. You also have a handout in your packet that you could use. You may want to fill that out before you come to do this activity. And then you have some quizzes to take over the various chapters. Your test is due on Monday, April 20th, and it will open 5 days before, so it'll open up on Wednesday. Actually 6 days before. That will give you 5 days in the testing center. Remember, you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and Monday, and so you should have lots of opportunity to get that test taken. Just be sure it is complete by April 20th and that you get to the testing center and get it done. I think that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out. Keep on trucking. I know this class can be tough, and so if you're feeling a little overwhelmed, just definitely maybe take you a little breather, but I would not wait too late to start this chapter. Okay, hopefully Chapter 5 you got a little bit of a break, but Chapter 6 through 9 you definitely want to spend some time with it. I think that's all I have for you today. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I hope you have an awesome week. And just be sure you're getting your work turned in and getting help when you need it. Y'all have a good one.